Okay, this is my From video number 2, take like 400. I'm going to talk today about Fromm's Art of the Loving. And it's on page 48 if you have the book. Okay, first let me explain what I'm talking about. I have a friend who was dating this guy for about a total of like 3 years. And they, in the very beginning, for the first 6 months, we'll say, they were in their newlywed phase. They were, oh, I love you. He's so great. That little, nothing they do is wrong type of thing. And then after about, like I said, that was about 6 months. And then they kind of went into about a year-long phase of where it almost seemed like they weren't made for each other. And they, I know they got a lot of advice from their friends saying that they should break up. And they just seemed to disagree on a lot of things. And it kind of seemed like I said, that maybe they shouldn't be together. And then they somehow got through that. And about 6 months after that, they were about to get back happy. And I kind of asked my friend, I was like, how did you get through that bumpy phase? And her response was that, her response was that during the phase, it wasn't that he was so much wrong, but she only could see the bad things, and mainly she was bored with him. And that word bored made me immediately think about Fromm. And I'm going to read you 2 passages from it really quickly. Okay. First of all, it's often confused with the explosive experience of falling in love. The sudden collapse of the barriers which existed until that moment between 2 strangers, but was pointed out before, this experience of sudden intimacy is by its very nature short-lived. After the stranger has become an intimately known person, there are no more barriers to overcome. There is no more sudden closeness to be achieved. The loved person becomes as well known as oneself, or perhaps I should say as little known. If there were more depth in the experience of the other person, if one could experience the infiniteness of his personality, the other person would never be so familiar. And the miracle of overcoming the barriers might occur every day anew. But for most people, their own person, as well as others, it is soon explored and soon exhausted. For them, intimacy is established primarily through sexual contact. Since they experience the separateness of the other person primarily as physical separateness, physical union means overcoming separateness. Okay. So the main part of that passage, or at least what I got out of it, was that you eventually become bored with another person. That there's only so much, so many questions you can ask, so many answers you can get before you run out of excitement. And as whether it's humans or whatever, to try to get back that initial feeling of excitement, we turn to sexual intimacy, and we mistake that personality connection with sexual connection. And from at least from my own experience, I realized that physical intimacy is great. I mean, it's great, but it is not enough to fulfill your desires in some way. Later on in that same 2 pages, he later says, but all these types of closeness tend to become reduced more and more as time goes on. The consequence is one sees love with a new person, with a new stranger. Again, the stranger is transformed into an intimate person. Again, the experience of falling in love is exhilarating and intense. And again, it slowly becomes less and less intense. And ends in the wish for a new conquest, a new love. Always with the illusion that the new love will be different from the earlier ones. These illusions are greatly helped by the aesthetic characters of sexual desire. Sexual desire aims at fusion, and it is by no means only a physical appetite. The relief of the painful tension, but sexual desire can be stimulated by anxiety of aloneness, by the wish to conquer or be conquered, by vanity, by the wish to hurt, and even to destroy. As much as it can be stimulated by love, it seems that sexual desire can easily blend with any stimulated by any strong emotion, of which love is only one. Okay, so basically what I got out of the whole situation, whether with my friend and also aided by Fromm's words, was that when you're in love with a person, and in the very beginning, you're going to have that mystery, and you're going to want to know answers to the questions you have. And that the mystery in that person that you see in that person is what attracts you to that person, what keeps you going to that person. And over time, you run out of questions to ask, and therefore you lose mystery. And which is, I think, is the main reason why people cheat. You get bored in your relationship, and you therefore, you seek mystery elsewhere. And yeah, that's it. Don't you dare.